So, twin flames and the ascension journey, that's so important to integrate the two. We all come from a higher field of consciousness. We descend to earth and we inherit unloving patterns when we arrive. And we journey through our life being triggered to bring into our awareness what those patterns are for healing and for us to connect to the higher realms of consciousness and bring that love to those unloving energies to elevate them. And that really is, in a nutshell, what this journey is all about. And when you do a lot of this healing work, you meet your counterpart. And what do I mean by your counterpart? Most people are walking around thinking of relationships and romance as I want to find my other half. We almost have coded within us this journey to find someone who's compatible with us. And when I say compatible with us, I'm talking compatible at the soul level. There's this magic when you meet your twin flame. It's like your soul lights up. And so your soul lights up, and this activates this connection to the higher realms of consciousness within you. When I talk about the higher realms of consciousness, I'm talking about higher dimensions of love. The thing is, though, we have within us all this programming that we inherited when we arrived on Earth. We arrive and absorb, and children absorb from 0 to 7, everything in the world around them. And what we're absorbing is the way humans view the world. And in terms of relationships, you will be observing how your parents interact with each other, how your siblings interact with you. You might be watching movies that demonstrate a version of a relationship. So there's all these things being patterned into children about love, life, and relationships. And they may or may not be loving. And so when we get triggered, it's usually triggering one of these unloving perspectives within us for release. And the awakening journey is about realizing you actually have a choice about this and that the program doesn't have to run you. But awakening is like stepping into a room, but now that you're in the room, you have to navigate your way through the room. People awaken in all sorts of ways. Often when twin flames meet, it's an awakening experience because you suddenly elevate into higher love and you feel that there's more, and it starts shaking your beliefs about how things have been on Earth up until now. Other people have a Kundalini awakening and energy charges through their body, which changes them. Some people take mind-altering substances to feel that there's more. Other people go to retreats and have amazing experiences that awakens them. So awakening is like waking up to the fact that there's more and that you can choose love over fear. But awakening isn't really enough because you will awaken but still have all the programming that you inherited in your childhood. And so what's in the way of you staying in the awakened state is all the programming. These are patterns like righteousness, judgment, blames, criticisms, the need to be right. They could be emotional polarities like abandonment, rejection, belittlement. It could be bullying. It could be a feeling of helplessness. It could be an emotional feeling that gets triggered in you often. This programming, when people talk about the twin flame work being difficult, the work isn't difficult. The programming is what's difficult. The programming will be triggered in you after meeting your twin flame, and that's what hurts. Hanging on to it is what hurts you. And so the journey begins where you start emptying out all these unloving patterns so that you can return your inner energy to the state of unconditional love. And that's what the journey really is all about. And the surrendering that a lot of people talk about on the twin flame journey is all about releasing these unloving patterns instead of holding on to them. That's what's really going on here. And the reason I believe that everyone has a twin flame and they just haven't met them yet is because if you look at the realms of consciousness from the higher perspective, We are all one soul. Whether you call this God, the universe, one soul, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It is one field of unconditional love that houses all our souls. And if you think of the Big Bang theory of consciousness, where this consciousness expanded, exploded, and scattered out through the universe into billions of little souls, well, that's us. So we're all parts of this one beautiful field of consciousness. And we scatter through the dimensions, breaking into smaller pieces until we reach Earth. And everything on Earth has a dualistic energy. If you look at the solar flares coming out from the sun, they travel past other planets, and the gravity of Earth pulls them in and splits them in two. Half goes to the North Pole, half goes to the South Pole, forming the aurora borealis. So science shows us that things split in two. And in science, cells divide by the process of mitosis. And so the dividing of cells is showing this splitting process. So could it be that for a soul to enter the earth plane in the descension process, that it splits in two and becomes polarized? And this would be a male energy and a female energy. And often twin flames are born on other parts of the world. Or if they're perhaps in a country like Australia or America, one will be on the East Coast and one will be on the West Coast. There can be big age differences, cultural differences. And I guess what I'm saying is opposites or polarized in different directions. And they each are inheriting unloving patterns within a family structure to heal, to cleanse, to rise into a higher state of consciousness. And when twin flames actually meet, it triggers this deep healing process, which is to return the soul back to unconditional love. So this is like, tag, come home now, and home is higher love. Home is moving back to the state of consciousness in higher realms, like going back to one soul. This is why I think everyone has a twin flame, even if they haven't met them yet. They know within them they are wanting to find their other half. And you might be in a really good relationship and feel that it's right for you. And I think you should stay there if you feel it's right for you. It may take a long time. It may even be another lifetime before the twin flames or twin souls are reunited. The main thing, though, is to anchor unconditional love wherever you are, in every situation, and to notice the triggers and to heal them. So let's get back to twin flames and why they're significant. Because I think twin flames don't really have a choice but to do this healing work, to look at the programming and reprogram their thoughts, their attitudes, and their emotions to unconditional love. I feel twin flames are like the front runners on this ascension journey. And we just have to do that cleaning work to elevate, and we know the direction to head. If you had met your twin flame, you would have experienced this elevation of energy, this feeling of unconditional love. Often twin flames run because the disparity between that feeling and their programming and what they think is reality is really full on. And they know they have to go and, for want of a better term, sort it out, heal it, clean it up. So the importance of twin flames is to raise the consciousness to this higher field of unconditional love. You can argue with it, you can debate it, you can think that it is totally about the romantic journey and you're just meant to be together. But often when twin flames come together, knowing the attraction is very strong, if the programming hasn't been cleaned up, they'll pull apart again. And then they'll do a little bit more cleaning. They'll draw together again. It's like a magnetizing process. And then they'll pull apart again. So rather than arguing with it or debating it or trying to even work it out, just clean up the programming and return yourself to unconditional love.